Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Korra video. This is going to be my analysis for the new, very short Book 3 teaser trailer that came from Nick Netherlands. They aired it as a commercial. And yeah, so we have our first Book 3 footage and I'm going to talk through it right now. I'll start off with my general thoughts before showing some images of specific parts of the trailer. Since it is so short, it's only like 13 seconds, and there's a few book 1 scenes in there in addition to the book 3 stuff. It's not the best trailer that you're ever going to get your first stuff about book 3 in, but it gets you excited because it shows a lot of the new stuff and so on. It's a nice teaser trailer. Nothing more than that, really. I'm excited to see a full, minute or two long trailer to come out from Coronation or Nick Up Front or something like that. But let's get into actually analyzing this trailer. We'll start off with this image here, which is of Tenzin shirtless. This is the talking point of the fandom. Obviously people are freaking out just because it's a character shirtless. For me, I'm more interested in, why is he shirtless? Mainly because he seems like, of all the characters, the one least likely to do this. And the interesting thing as well is that the clothing appears to be somewhat Fire Nation. There's a little bit of red, there's browns there. Doesn't really look Air Nomad really that much, and you wouldn't. And he kind of, just in how muscly Tenzin is, kind of looks a little bit like Boomy from the original show. Just with that kind of earthbender costume, shirtless, wraps around the arms and stuff like that. It's a interesting look for Tenzin, and then you also look at the area where he is. We see a few shots of this place, the ramp leading down from the airship that we see throughout the trailer down to the ground, and he's fighting on it or training on it. So that just presents us, as I'm going to show you throughout this this video, that we see this airship a lot, leading us to believe that Team Avatar, or most of Team Avatar, are going to be on this airship traveling around the world, because we see some other locations that we haven't seen before. So shirtless Tenzin, bit of a mystery. What's his reason for being there? Why has he changed his outfit here? Really interesting and weird as well. So we move on to the next image here, which, as you can see, is Korra looking back at some of the other characters from the show. So Asami, Bolin, Boomy, Tenzin, and Jinora. I think Jinora is interesting that she's there, showing that they're bringing she is not just a kind of like one season main character like she was in book 2. She's actually playing a bigger role there because she's his oldest daughter, and obviously has proven herself through the whole being Korra's spiritual guide. And maybe she comes along with Korra to help her be spiritual. She really has become her spiritual teacher. That'd be a really nice idea for Jinora. So I like that we see her there. Also, you'll notice that they're standing on the same ramp as Tenzin is from the last shot. So you can see this airship is a thing that, at the very least, brings them to one place, if not to multiple places throughout the season. Just because Tenzin's there in his Air Nomad gear, and then he's also in the first image without the Air Nomad gear, so maybe they're in different areas. But interesting there. Also, the lack of Mako is pretty interesting. He could be just like talking to Korra right there, kind of off screen where the camera would be looking at the image, or it could be in the airship. But let's not forget he also works in Republic City, so he could be remaining there and not going with them on the journey. That would be an interesting choice, to leave Mako kind of out of the way of the group. But let's move on to the next image. Next one is of what appears to be, what I would say has to be, some form of Earth Kingdom town. It's probably more than likely Ba Sing Se or Omashu. Just judging by the background, it looks to me more like an Omashu type area, because the buildings get pretty high towards the back, and Ba Sing Se doesn't quite have that look. Omashu looks quite sandy. This place kind of matches that. So that's just some speculation, but either way, some interesting Earth Nomad people here. Probably the soldiers of this place, or some gang in the city. Interesting that we seem to for sure be going to visit the Ba Sing Se or Omashu, somewhere in the Earth Kingdom. That's interesting, and I think Korra or Tenzin is fighting these people because they get hit with an airbending blast. But we'll move from there into another character fighting people, and this time it's some mysterious person attacking the Order of the White Lotus and their prison or something like that that they have here. They have an area here. We're not sure where it is. Probably is linked into this Earth Kingdom place. But speculation could be that this is Korra in new gear, because obviously we see Tenzin in new gear. Maybe they're going undercover. That's why we see Korra here. It's kind of presenting either the Order of White Lotus is getting attacked, or they've become somewhat of a villain in this book. That's an interesting idea. We'll have to wait to see what happens. Either way, this looks like some form of a prison, just based on the door. So it's interesting to see if the kind of like the Dai Li, the Order of the White Lotus have also fallen the bigger they've gotten. So that's interesting. Either way, it's an airbender of some way attacking them here, so it probably is Korra. Next, we move on to dragons. I've got a few images here of dragons, but the first one we get to see is of someone from the Order of the White Lotus talking to this one dragon here, and it appears to be the shot that happens after the next shot, which I'll show you in a moment. But either way, this is a dragon. It's different than the other dragons we've seen. This isn't Ran, this isn't Shaw, so more than likely this means this is a brand new dragon. Maybe it came from the spirit world, who knows? But the theory, obviously there's that purple dragon theory, maybe the purple bit's not correct, but that the ancient sun warrior artifact, that golden egg that Zuko said felt like it was alive, maybe that was an actual dragon egg, maybe this is the animal that was born from that, and that's why we have this dragon here. Going to the next shot, we have a clearer image of the dragon and who is on top of the dragon. It's clearly someone from the Fire Nation, looks a little bit like Sozin, a little bit like Roku. Could it possibly be an older Zuko now? Mixed between the two, just based on the look? With the new dragon, he was the one who said it felt alive. Maybe there's something to that. That would be a very interesting idea. Either way, it's not confirmed it's Zuko. We're going to have to wait to see some more trailers or something like that. It could just be wishful thinking, but either way, there is a Fire Nation man on top of a dragon, and that is really cool to see where that comes in, its involvement comes in. Obviously, Iroh was trying to hide the fact that dragons were still alive. He's part of the Order of White Lotus, and now this dragon talks to a member of the Order of White Lotus. That's interesting. Also, we see the dragon kind of flying in from somewhere that looks like it's part of the Fire Nation. Maybe that's where Zuko's living right now. Either way, some pretty cool stuff. Last image I'm going to talk about here is just this one here. It's Korra doing some water bending in Republic City. We see the vines, obviously from Unavati's attack last book. But the key thing here is if you look in the background of the buildings as they kind of go into the sky, you can see that the water is not just what Korra's bending over her head, it's also coming around the sides of the building. So it seems like she's using that light dark bending technique to do on some spirit, that's some big spirit or something like that, a bunch of dark spirits that are maybe in this building. She's trying to purify them, get them out or something like that. Or maybe they're light spirits or something like that. It's an interesting idea that she seems to be using this technique a lot. The scene before this, which I'm not going to show you, shows her in the avatar state doing this. So that's obviously why she can do waterbending so far away. So some interesting stuff in this trailer. It's as I said, there's not a massive amount to really discuss. I think I've touched on every single possibility there really is in the trailer, but either way it's interesting, and probably the most important thing from this trailer, it shows us that there was enough footage available to create a trailer, and that's a really good sign. We got the book 2 trailer in June, July at Comic-Con. The show aired in September then, so we can't be more than about 2-3 months off or something like that from the actual premiere of Book 3 Change. This is a really good sign. Maybe the fact that it's the teaser trailer means we'll be waiting a little bit longer, but I don't see us waiting more than about 5 months or so. So September seems to be the absolute latest this is going to air, but it probably will air before then. This is a good sign that we have a trailer from Nickelodeon, albeit in the Netherlands, Holland, but the Coronation still have to come back. What better way to bring them back than with a new trailer, full, 1-2 minute long trailer. We know that they're halfway done with the book. We know that they're a good deal into production on the last few episodes. They're just working on those, so we should be getting Book 3 content very soon over the next few days. Mike and Brian have yet to comment on this trailer, but that's my thoughts on the trailer. In the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on this trailer and some of the speculation I talked about here. But thanks for watching this video, and bye.